Hello, my name is Jason from the Australian College, and today I'll be showing you how to create a virtual Windows 2008 server using Amazon Web Services. Before we get started, please make sure you have received the web link, username and password from the college. If you haven't received these details yet, please contact your training manager who will be able to organise them to be emailed out to you. Okay, let's get started. Firstly, open up your default web browser and enter in the link that we've provided you, as well as your username and your password. It will automatically bring you to the AWS account of ACCM Virtual Server. Once you've entered those details in, click on Sign In using our secure server. On this page you'll see an array of different services. However, the one that we'll be working on is EC2. If you click on EC2 Virtual Servers in the cloud, please. Now this is where we'll be setting up our virtual server. What we need to do first is make sure that we're in the Sydney region. To do this, validate that this says Sydney. If not, click on the drop down box and choose Asia Pacific, Sydney. Once that is done, click on Launch Instance. Okay, in here we'll only be working on a specific image of Windows Server 2008. There are other operating systems to choose from, however you will need to create your own Amazon Web Services account to access these. Please note that certain services attract fees and charges. On the left hand side, click on Free Tier Only. Okay, this will filter through and give you only the free tier options. Scroll down to the very bottom until you'll see Microsoft Windows Server 2008 R2 Base. Make sure that your AMI or your reference is AMI-133FA329. If this isn't the right option, make sure that you have selected Sydney and come back into here. Okay, and then click on Select. Okay, the following screens is going to be the setup of the instance or the virtual server that we're going to create. On the first screen, micro instance, it's more informational of what we've been setting up. The size is going to be a T1 micro. We're going to have 2 virtual CPUs set to it. It's going to have very low network performance. So it's the very basics of servers. Click on Next, Configure Instance Details. In here we'll leave everything as default, but we can actually set up how many instances we're going to create, which network we want to particularly connect it to, if we've got any other network set up on virtualization, any subnets that we've set it up on, but we'll leave it as the default network that we've created. And click on Next, Add Storage. Again, we'll leave it as default. The size for the volume or the snapshot is going to be 30 gigabytes. Make sure that this box here is selected, which is delete on termination. So when you are finished with your instance, it will actually delete the volume that you created to. Then click on Next, Tag Instance. Okay, in here we want to give your instance a name so we know it's actually your instance. So in the value, I want you to type in your full name. So type in Jason, your full name. So make sure it's your full name so when we look at the instances later, we know which one is actually yours. Okay. Once that's done, click on Next, Configure Security Group. What we're going to do here, we're going to pre-select an existing group. So if you click on Select an existing security group, click on this one here, which is the Open Access. This security group has been set up to allow all incoming and outgoing connections. For sake of this exercise, it's going to be okay. However, if setting up a server for a business usage, you want to create a specific network security settings to allow certain IP addresses and or ports to have access to. Okay, once that's done, click on Review and Launch. Okay, notice the pop-up window saying Open Access is open to the world. It's because it has full access, but it's okay for the sake of this exercise. Now, if you're having problems creating your instance, it would be good if you can take a screenshot of this screen, as well as the error screen which will come up next, and send over to the college. However, if it's all going through, then we should be fine from there. Okay, now just review everything, make sure it's what we've selected, and then click on Launch. What we need to do now is create a key pair. The key pair allows you to decrypt your administrator password, which will need to be done at a later stage. What you need to do first is click on Create a New Key Pair, and I'm going to call mine Jason Key. However, you can call yours whatever you like, maybe your first initial of your first name and then your surname, so it's easy to remember. Once you type something in here, click on Download Key Pair. Now, please note that you can only download the key pair once. If you do lose your key pair and you don't know your password for your administrator account, you need to go through this whole process over again and create a new key pair associated to your particular instance. This particular key will be associated to the instance that I'm creating. Okay, so once you've downloaded it, you can see it here, just please make a note of where you've downloaded it to, and then click on Launch Instances. Voila! And you get this green tick. It says your instance is now launched, or now launching I should say. So that means that you successfully created your instance, and if this screen comes up with any particular errors, you can try retrying those errors a few times to see if they go away. If not, take a screenshot of this screen along with the info screen I mentioned earlier and send over to the college so we can have a look at that for you. Okay. And if you scroll down to the bottom of this page and click on View Instances, you'll see now that the instance that we've created with my name is now running. And if you scroll across, it's got the key that's associated to it, and at the moment it's initializing. And initialization takes around 15 or 20 minutes to process, and until that is done, you really cannot do anything else with your virtual server. So go out and get a coffee, come back, and we'll go from there. So what I'll do, I'll pause the video and we'll be able to continue in 15 minutes time. Okay, about 15 minutes has passed, and as you can see here, 2 out of 2 checks have gone through and we're ready to go. Now, to check that you can actually get your password, you can click on your instance. You can either go to Actions, or you can just right click and go to Get Windows Password. The same menus come up. Okay, if this screen comes up, you know you're good to go. If another screen comes up saying it's not ready, you can either click on Retry or just wait about 5 extra minutes or so. Now, remember I told you earlier to recall where you left the key, because this is when you're going to need it now to decrypt your password. Click on Choose File, locate your particular key, click on Open, and you can see the secure authorization code in here. And all you need to do is click on Decrypt, and that's all you need to do. So you just copy these details maybe into a notepad or something like that, and this will give you the IP that you want to connect to via remote desktop, your username which is administrator, and a review password which you might want to change later because it's quite hard to remember. Now click on Close, and all you do is start up remote desktop. To start up remote desktop, you go to Start Run. You can type in MSTSC, or you can do Start and in the search type in remote desktop. And here's one I prepared earlier. Get the IP address, which is 54.206, that's it. And then click on Connect. And there you go. And that connected it. Now I've had, the reason I went straight into it is because I had the username and password already set up in there, but you just need to just put your password details in and it should remember it for next time. Thank you for watching this video. Please have a look at my second video on how to use the virtual server to create a VPN tunnel into your local desktop. This is Jason from the Australian College, and thank you for watching.